Everything works. Good evening, YouTube, hobby human people, Great Hall members, wonderful, beautiful bastards. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us on this fine month. It's been beautiful down here today. A really, really lovely day. And welcome back to the stream. Welcome to Great Hall Hobby Night. Hope you're all doing well. And more importantly, welcome to June. It's June already. That's mad, isn't it? Summer is upon us. And that makes me happy. That makes me very, very happy. I am a big summer person. And summer means many things. Summer typically means better weather, warmer weather, more blue skies, more sunshine. Now, are you coming to join us? I didn't know if you were, because you're out there doing stuff in the kitchen, so you're more than welcome to. I'd muted your microphone just in case. Luce is here too. So yeah, so summertime means beautiful blue skies. It means sunshine. It means drier days, warmer days. And do you know what? Do you know how you don't enjoy sunshine and blue skies and warm days? Is by being inside hobbying. So this weekend we've had some decent weather, and I've been out for a bit of it on bikes and stuff. And importantly, since the Space Wolf box got sent through to me, I have been busy on my desk hobbying away, and it's currently covered in hobby. And that's great, right? That's good. So I've been putting that box together, head takers and the Wolfguard Battle Leader, all that kind of good stuff. And then this weekend, I felt like I should do a lot more hobbying, and I actually just took a little break and didn't. And there's a couple of reasons. First of all, I had a big hole in my thumb with a scalpel, and it was becoming quite difficult to continue to hobby with the way that I hobby, because when I hobby and I scrape models, I scrape them in towards my thumb like this. And then all I was doing was I was just continuously opening the wound up. So I had to stop. I didn't have to stop. I chose to stop because I wanted to give it some time to heal. But also, I wanted to go outside and enjoy the weather. Touch some fucking grass for a bit. And I think sometimes I keep an eye on the community in general, as a whole, like whether it's on Instagram or in Discord or whatever. And you lot are mental. Like, non-stop hobby all the time. One project finished, straight on to the next one. 10 models painted, straight on to the next 10. It's mad impressive, but I want to normalize as well. It's actually okay taking a little break sometimes. Stopping, stepping back, putting the project down, leaving it for a bit, coming back to it 2-3 days, sometimes 2-3 weeks later is actually perfectly normal. And I want to know if you guys have got go-to things that you do when you take a little hobby break. For reference, taking a break is just because I had this little weekend where I didn't pick up a scalpel or some snips or some glue or a paintbrush. I didn't bother at all. I just enjoyed the weekend. I should probably do some more on Wednesday and some more over the course of this next weekend. This week, I'll probably get a reasonable amount done because the weather's supposed to be terrible, so I don't want to be outside, right? Because if it's pissing with rain, I don't want to be out in that. I'm happy to be in here like a little goblin with my hood up doing some hobbying. But if it's beautiful blue skies and sunshine, I don't really want to be sat in my office sweating over some models. My camera's been an arse, by the way, today. I don't know why. No idea why. It was misbehaving earlier on VAG as well. I thought I'd fixed it, but apparently, no. It's going to continue to play up today. Hey-ho.
Has Luce not got a thimble you can use?
I mean, maybe, but
I don't like them. I
can't stand thimbles, and I wouldn't. It's all feel for me, and I would lose a lot of feel.
Yeah.
So, and I also feel like the way, because models are quite delicate, and I feel like if I put some big metal thing over my thumb, I'm going to end up breaking or crushing something with my giant ham hands. I
end up shaking my hand like a cat with a wet paw.
Yeah.
And then I shake it off and I go, oh no, I was supposed to keep that on, and then put it back on, and then I'll get into the swing of it, and then I'll shake it off again. Oh no, I was supposed to keep that on. Just easier for me to know.
Yeah, camera clearly wants a break. I can't afford a break, I'm afraid. It does. What I actually wanted to do this evening, if I'm being honest with you, is earlier on the VAD stream, I played Battlefield 1 for the first time in God knows how many years properly. Like, actually properly played it. It's a game that came out in 2016. And what I said to the Thanes tonight, what I actually wanted to do this evening was play more Battlefield 1. I can't. I've got a job to do, and that's fine. That happens. I'm sure many of us have gone, I've got to go to work today, but I'd rather sit and do this thing instead, whatever that might be. And I was like, can I get away? Oh, I can't get away with it. It would be a silly thing to do. In the meantime, Mr. The Awful Gamer. Hey, TJ. Thank you for 5 gifted memberships. You wonderful human being. Thank you, Ramaclock, for the 1 gifted as well. Thank you for those $2, Adam, you legend. And thank you, Gamer Aviation, for the Skull tier membership. Becoming a member all by yourself. You're an absolute legend. I've been on a hobby break for at least a year. Oh, really? How come, though? Like, why? You want to check the new Horrors Heresy article up to date. The new stats are explained in a bit more detail, and there's a really Horrors Heresy Spacefall army shown. Oh, that's cool. Have a look in a bit, yeah. Become the Wobbling Goblin. What do you mean? Still waiting on my Space Wolf box from Element. Have they not delivered that yet? Oh, that comes out. That's dispatched on Friday, right? Craig? It's a 2-week pre-order. It was able for pre-order. It's available for pre-order not this Saturday, just gone, but the one before. So it's not due out yet. So it's not due. Like Element will normally get that to you Friday, Saturday. The Battlefield 1 stream earlier was excellent. Oh, thanks, man. I enjoyed that a lot, actually. Battlefield 1, Dave. Peak. Absolute peak.
I personally liked the dinner lady. I thought she was outstanding.
The dinner lady? What do you mean?
Yeah. Me!
Oh!
Giving you dinner!
The enchilada delivery service?
Yeah.
It was fucking great, that was. That food was amazing. Can't decide what armies to collect next. Interesting. Wait, I'm a member now. This Friday for Space Force pre-orders, unless you know, peeps. What? Def gonna chill for a little after I get done with the Escalation League I'm currently in. That's interesting. Why? When I take a break from hobbying, I pop out the Forbidden Planet game shops in London to see the latest new games, spend time visiting. Wicked. Yeah, I think it's good to take a little break from things. I think sometimes if you hammer yourself on something that you love, and you hammer and hammer and hammer it, I think it can get, some of the love can be lost. I think sometimes the beautiful thing about a little break is when you go back to it, you're like, oh, I remember why I love this. But you don't have that unless you step away from it for a moment. Battlefield 1's so much better to watch than COD. Is it? Do you prefer it? Because I fucking had a whale of a time on that earlier. I'll be honest. Did he tip the delivery hostess? Her wages are awful, I hear. What do you think you're laughing at? How dare you, Gareth? Be like me, Bear, and have 4 armies in the queue to paint. Yeah, if you can't pick an army, play all of them. But yeah, so what do you do if you take a break? What thoughts, things do you do, chat? Tell me. Postcards, go. Thank you so much for 50 likes off the bat. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit all those magical YouTube buttons. Like, hit the like button if you enjoy the content. Smash subscribe if you haven't already. Blah, 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 etc., etc., etc. Have you all had a wonderful weekend? Hopefully you've had a wonderful weekend. I had a great weekend, actually. It's been quite productive. But I didn't do any real hobbying, and I felt guilty for it. And I'm waiting to get a bunch of stuff I've got in front of me into the airbrush booth, which is probably a Wednesday job, to start getting blacks on the Space Wolves project and then dark greys on the Space Wolves project. So that's probably the Wednesday job. And then I think it's possible that from next week I might start actually doing painting streams as well.
Dun, dun, dun.
Bum, bum, bum. What I do have to do a painting stream is remember to bring a camera. Actually, to be fair, with your group at Eastleigh, if I forget to bring a camera home, it's not the end of the world. I could just swing by work and get one on a Monday before a hobby stream, so it's not that bad, actually. Do people want painting streams? I feel like they didn't ever do very well. I had a nice weekend, took the wife on a date, first time in years. Where'd you go, Dave?
Aww.
Round the back of the bike sheds isn't a date, mate, just so you know.
Does it feel nice to take someone on a date and be the one that's kind of like, controlling sounds really awful, but do you know what I mean? Like to take, because I get all the warm fuzzies when I treat the boys, even though I'm the one spending money.
Yeah.
So is that the same when you take someone on a date?
Nah. Not even married for years. The bill comes over, you look at it, you're like, fucking hell.
Oh, okay.
No, it is nice, to be fair. Especially, I think it's especially nice if you have a little family and you have the opportunity to do that without the kids for a moment. because then the spoils are all focused on one person, and that's quite nice.
Oh.
Weekend was mental. Legoland on Saturday and kids' birthday parties all Sunday. Oh, Legoland on a Saturday sounds grim. Yeah. My baby shower was yesterday, and now I'm painting Adepta Sororitas Morven. Oh, that sounds cool.
Would that be Mandy?
No.
Oh.
I spread myself thin with multiple hobbies: musical theatre, archery, astrophotography, so much gaming. The weekend just gone was at Games Expo with friends. How many people went to Games Expo? I didn't go to Games Expo this year.
I read a really bad review of it.
Oh, did you? What did you read?
Yeah.
What was this review of Games Expo?
Let me bring it up.
I'm interested. Maybe we should have had a conversation before I did the stream. That would have been a much more clickbaity title.
Quick, change it.
UK Games Expo gets terrible review. Evan, thank you for 5 gifted memberships. What a legend. We're in double figures, you beautiful humans. Let's go. What a hero. Thank you, Evan Manello. Don't really watch painting hobby streams. We'll only watch if they are like the hobby streams we have had where we just talk about different things while doing it. Yeah, we need to keep talking. It's a bit shit if you go silent and just sit here with your paintbrush out, to be honest with you. I took a break from 40k to concentrate on AOS. Now back into 40k with my 1,000 Suns and the new Codex.
Hobby break means more time tinkering with cars. This week was sad broken diff noises and saving for the huge bill.
Oh dear.
Crying face emoji.
What car did you break the diff on, Ron McClock? I heard it wasn't great either, but from someone who dislikes everything. That's fair.
Okay, so
Who was the reviewer?
I'm not going to give a name away, even though they've posted it to Facebook, so the internet owns it now. But
So is it just a normal person's name?
it's just a normal person.
Right, okay, it's not like
yeah.
a channel or something.
No.
Okay.
So, I felt quite disappointed in the, is it UKGE?
Yeah, UK Games
Yeah,
Expo, yeah.
good, okay. So my first one, whilst there were some good things. The combination of drinking water was offline, the unclear signage for alternative fill-up, along with expensive £2.50 bottles of water, insane crowds that meant I couldn't really look at what was for sale. The layout was horrible and headache-causing. The way the main halls all connected so you could wander accidentally between them and lose all bearings of exploring everything systematically. They should have made Hall 1 available for main trade as it is separate, giving it a feeling of separation. That would have helped instead of making Hall 4 share the ticketing and bring and buy. Then they could have had seminars in a place where unthinking persons aren't walking across the panel desk blocking the audience, and you could hear the seminars better without a loud ambience around. Then there was the heat levels, which were made worse by the lack of water. Why they didn't have proper ventilation going, I don't know. It all gave me a headache.
I got a message 2 weeks ago from Dave from Mini Wargaming. Messaged me saying, are you coming to Games Expo? Because he goes and does the whole weekend at UK Games Expo. And I was like, no. He went, why not? I was like, why? He said, what do you mean? I said, I just don't get it, personally. I don't understand. So Joe and I went last year. We went on the Friday.
I thought you'd been.
Yeah, we went on the Friday last year to give it a go because I'd never been before. People say you need to do UK Games Expo. You need to do UK Games Expo. So we went on the Friday last year, and the first thing was I was glad I went on the Friday because it was the quieter of the 3 days. And we were told that Saturday, Sunday was supposed to be even busier. And I'll be honest with you, the Tisms were singing fast on the Friday. I was not. It was fucking rammed full of people, and you're all kind of like gently. I don't like being slowed down by crowds and queues anyway. Despite the fact that I'm British and it's one of our pastimes, I'm not a huge fan of it. So I just kind of waddling around behind people like bad fucking poor misguided sheep. As you walk around this Games Expo hall, it was red hot, it's noisy, it's uncomfortable, no one's got any manners. I fucking hated it. I didn't like it at all. And it is just a case of go to Games Expo to walk around and buy things from people. Now, I think for the smaller businesses and the smaller kind of tabletop games that exist, it's quite good only because it means that people get their eyes out, their product out there to other people's eyes who might not normally see it. So if you're shopping for 40k, and you only ever shop for 40k, Games Expo is pointless.
I took a break from painting to work on that Fire Warrior costume. Typically, I'd use the same time to read, or watch a show or movie in my queue.
I'm ready to pick up the third Harry Potter book again. I've had a little break from those, and I'm looking forward to picking it up again some point soon. Thank you for the $5, Evan. You're a legend. So yeah, so like if you're like me, I'm not really ever going to play a small independent game. I don't think it's just I'm not interested. So why am I walking around Games Expo for? Well, Warhammer. Well, I just go on Element, and it doesn't get cheaper to like buy it from Games Expo. So you're paying for a ticket to go to a place where you can buy things that you can just buy online anyway. And that sounds like an awful thing to say, but when it's a super busy, like when Joe and I went, we were queuing for near an hour just to get our ticket to get in, for Christ's sake. Like, it's not well organised. I think it's really poorly organised, to be honest with you. I don't think it's big enough for the amount of people they want to pull in. As far as creators go, all it then becomes is a giant creator circle jerk of selfies for Instagram.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the selfie as it is, and I feel really awful because DempseyCon #1, someone asked for my photo and I went, God no. I don't get the whole selfie thing.
Creators go, I went to UK Games Expo, and then you look at their social media feed, and do you know what it is? It's pictures of themselves with other creators, and then maybe one picture of, look at all this money I spent, look at this great haul I've got. And it's just, it's not my vibe, that. I'm not into that shit. I don't like that. Stu, thank you for 10 gifted memberships. You're a legend. Up to 22. We've got 3 to go to 25, chat. 3 to go to get halfway there. What a hero. Thank you so much. Halfway there? Quarter of the way. Thank you so much, man. Stocks of independent games have dropped after Liam's disinterest of independent games. Exactly. Exactly. Dave says that was him. He went into the toilet and cried.
Aww. But look at us now, Dave.
Yeah.
A real connection instead of a weird photo.
He had to go in there and cry, otherwise how else would he masturbate? Was a great trip out. It's really busy, but the NEC, what do you expect really, was better organised from year previous. Okay, that's cool. Because I went last year, it was all right, but I had no, when the tickets got announced, I had no desire to grab a ticket and come to this one. I took my daughter and we had a fantastic time playing new games, meeting like-minded people, spent a bit of money, and wandered mostly around all the small vendors who I would normally never see. Yeah, so that Makira Muppet is exactly the sort of people it's for, and that's good. But I'm not interested really in small vendors at this moment in time. I don't have the time or the capacity. I kind of wish I did, but I don't have the time or the capacity for small vendors or new small games at this point in time. So, like, I don't get anything out of it apart from, like I said, the creator circle jerk. I'm not interested in that. It bothers me. I don't care for it. But I am keen to hear more positive stories from Games Expo as well, to be fair. It's just not my thing at the moment.
I thought if a business open to the public didn't have running water, they had to provide some kind of alternative. And saying that we sell bottles of water, that's not good enough.
Well, that's the other thing as well. This isn't just UK Games Expo, right? No. Before I get into this, because there's a little rant. Jack, oh my lord, thank you so much for 50 gifted memberships.
A fiddy.
Mr. Jack Allen throwing us straight up to 72. You absolute hero. Off the bat. Look at that team. We'll ignore that we're only on £10 of super chats because Jack has just smashed it. What an incredible legend you are. Thank you so much for 50 gifted, man. What a hero.
Well, as you're going to be a venue open to the public, do you have, if for some reason your water gets cut off and you're open to the public, do you have to offer an alternative? And it's not good enough to say we sell water.
Don't know.
Because water's a human right.
I don't think anyone is obliged to provide drinking water.
No, but like flushing toilets or should you close if
I don't know.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know if we're obliged to offer toilets. So I don't know. I need to check on the rules on that one, but I don't know if we're obliged to provide drinking water or to provide toilets.
Because I don't know if that guy's review, if it was like the water. Sure,
The water. I mean, if they say you can't have drinking water, I wouldn't. I'll be honest with you. I'm not the sort of person who probably would ever refill from a drinking fountain anyway for a venue that's got 10, 20,000 people going through it, because I just wouldn't. Because I'm a bit of a germaphobe with that kind of stuff. And I think I just buy bottled water. But then these places do have you buy the bollocks. So the one kind of con that I do like going to is I do like going to Motorcycle Live. And they're the same. It's extortionately priced to buy anything because they're like, captive audience. Right. Where else are you going to go? But it annoys me. It's the same when you get into the football stadium to watch the football. Like, cool, £6.20 a pint? Like, fucking hell.
Have you seen that advert where the guy makes him a burnt burger and he goes, that's £17, please? Because you've got them by the bollocks.
Jack, what are you doing?
Can't go anywhere.
20 more from Jack. Oh, my fucking word. At least we're on 92 already.
Someone should go and check on Jack.
Jack, next time I see you, I'm going to hug you naked. That is mad good. My belief is that if you sell food or drink, you must provide a toilet. Yeah, that's what I thought, Andy.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
I remember when I worked in a cafe when I was like 14, at the time, there was some kind of rule about how many people could be seated for a meal. Like there was some kind of loophole around sitting down and eating, then you needed toilets versus like a truck situation. You go and take your food away.
I don't know.
But that might have changed. That was a long time ago.
I did think if you provided food or drink, you had to give some sort of... Fuck me, Jack! You had to give some sort of toilet. Thank you for 10 more. Loose.
We should check on Jack.
He's just gifted 80 members off the bat. We've smashed the membership target now.
Very
Jesus
ill.
Christ.
Jack is critically ill.
Now we've just got the super chat target to hit. Only 90 quid to go on that one and we're good. We're fucking done for the night. Jesus fuck. It's a legal requirement if you serve food or beverage and offer sitting. So if the water breaks, just take all the chairs out.
Yeah, can't sit down.
Yeah, if you stand and drink, you're fine. He's out of control. He is out of control. Fucking hell. The number of people watching has gone up as well because of you, Jack. Thank you so much, man. What a fucking wonderful human. Oh my God.
Have some more to solidify that promise of a naked hug.
I was in rugby teams and the army, mate. That's a thing that could happen. Jesse says, Jack, are you just mashing buttons at this point?
I asked my German friend if he knew the square root of 81. He said no.
Oh, very good. Very good. That's Stu.
Of course it was Stu. I wasn't even going to say thank you to guess who that was. Of course it was Stu. Stu, thank you for the $5, man. We're now quarter of the way through the super chat target. You're amazing. Jack, you're a mad lad. I love you. I'm a bold ginger who's been baking in the sun. I don't know what I'm doing. Fair. Well,
no.
We need more sunshine. So what we're saying is Jack's going to fund us through the summer.
Jack's got heat stroke.
No refunds. No refunds, Jack. I'm sorry. I can't do it. It's in Google's hands now. It's in Google's hands now. Thank you so much, though, man. 80 gifted is insane. Plus the yellow one, incredible. Thank you so much, man. What an absolute hero. Oh, you're a legend. What a great start to June. We ran a charity night on Friday with a really cheap bar. There was still one lady coming up for tap water. Cheapo. To be honest with you, when I go on the drink, Jill, I drink a lot of water. And I think it saves me in the morning. I'll be honest.
If I'm treating the boy to a meal out something and they offer a bottomless drink, then I'll just obviously get Ben the bottomless drink. If they offer cans or bottles of pop, then I'll get a jug of water for the table because he canes drinks as though he's in some kind of bet.
Who, Ben does?
Yeah.
He's mad for it, isn't he?
And it cost me a small fortune.
I gave my handyman a to-do list, but he only did jobs 1, 3, and 5. Turns out he only does odd jobs.
That's fucking great. Oh, that's incredible. I'm here for that one, Moondon. Thank you so much for the €5. You're a hero. What a legend. What a legend.
That didn't sound like Stu's style.
That wasn't Stu, it was Moondon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was sat here going, no. Stu's more the quick kind of one-liners. Every now and then we get a short story.
We sold bottles of water. Okay, right. So the issue is it's a charity evening and they were asking for free water. I get it. I get it, Jill. Can confirm naked hugs are a thing, as is the Joe reach around, but he does get a bit handsy. He does, Kev, yeah. Yeah, especially if you keep bringing in models. Especially if you keep bringing in models, he gets really fucking handsy. We weren't charging com prices. No, fair. I'm into charity events. I like those sorts of things. But do you know what the problem is? I don't know if you found this, Jill. The problem is with charity-based things in the UK is, fuck me, you've got to be careful how you do it.
Yes.
It's so hard to not be in contravention of the Charities Commission rules. Jesus Christ.
Why is dark spelled with a K and not a C? Because you cannot see in the dark.
That's pretty bad.
Who is it?
It's not Stu.
It fucking is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Stu, your standards have gone down.
You're getting called out live here, Stu. He also
that
probably
was not on brand.
He promptly said straight afterwards, "I miss naked bar."
Oh no. I remember my first military naked bar. I think it was after that I said, ready to go home now.
You did, yeah.
Can we go?
For clarity, ladies and gentlemen, Luce did not get naked.
No.
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 Spoil sport. Yeah. Anyway, my little break this weekend, my little jaunt in the sunshine, my video edits, my podcast, etc., has meant that this week, probably Wednesday, I am ready to get back on the hobbying. I'm very excited. I've got some blood claws to make, but I think what I'm actually going to do is focus on spray painting some of the ones I've built already. Like the head takers and the battle leader. And I do want to paint things like the priest, but what I've actually done, who does this as well? 40k people, right? Who does this? This is something I have been doing whilst I've been taking a break from building my models, which has actually helped me as well. Is I decided to start theory crafting the 2,000 point list I'd like to work towards. So what I can do then is I can perhaps put models that aren't in that initial list to one side and focus on getting something that I want to play with on the table first. That means...
What letter of the word sent is silent S or the C?
Which one?
Read it again.
What letter of the word sent is silent, S or C?
Punch.
No, I don't think so. Paul's just asked the question. Because SENT works and CENT also works.
Here's my 2 cents.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
So, you know. So, but yeah, so I thanks for the $2 there, Paul. So I theoried a list so that I could use things to work towards, because I've got here, for example, one of my favourite models in the box actually is the priest model, this little cheeky chap here, on shot glass, of course. And I don't think he's in the list for now, if I'm honest. So he's going to get put to one side for painting, and then people like these little head takers, they're going to get painted first because they're in the list, you see. Taking Aldari to a team tournament on 14th. Good man. I have a tournament in 2 weeks. I'm currently painting the bits I need for that. Oh, I don't like painting for events. The pressure, I don't like the pressure of it. That can't be just me either. I can't stand the pressure of, you've got to have it done in 3 weeks' time. Go. If I'm going to book an event, I want to already have an army ready to go.
I was just thinking that. Just have a project as a slow burn. And then when you're done, then find something.
Yeah. Well, the other option is I have done this in the past as well, where here's my event that I'm going to. I've got an army for it already. But you don't have to lock your list into normally like a couple of weeks before. So if I get the other one done, I can change my mind. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. So.
When two vegans get in an argument, is it still called a beef?
What?
When two vegans get into an argument, is it still... You're not listening tonight.
Brian's saying them weird.
He's not.
He is.
When two vegans get into an argument, is it still called a beef?
No, it's called tofu. Yeah. Like their argument. They're vegan.
Moondon, I'm going to be honest with you. All these £5, $5, $5 dad jokes, I am fucking here for this. I would very much enjoy this being the vibe of the channel. Lucy's spoiling it a bit, I'm sorry.
I was walking past a farm and a sign said, duck, eggs. I thought, that is an unnecessary comma, and then it hit me.
Brian's ruining the delivery.
Brian's doing fine! Fucking blame Brian. He always turns up. Got the Eldar Combat Patrol to paint, and then I want to work on more beachhead options. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, that's what I do. I write a list and put the models in my box and then take them out to paint. That's fair. I like that. How blonde is loose? I know. It's fake as well. That's the worst part. There's corn between those two. Yeah. Honestly. These are great. Yeah, exactly, Evan. These are great. Luce is the spoil sport. She's the one ruining it.
Oh.
I asked you a question once about a vegan. I don't think we've ever got an official answer out of it.
Was that about the sex act?
Yeah.
Well, I say no, they're not.
Are you still planning to enter a model at Beachhead?
I'm upset that you used an R to start that sentence, Gaz. As in the letter R. Rather than writing it out properly. Because it's you, I'll let you off. Yes, I'd like to. Because Luce keeps telling me I should enter a painting competition.
You should, definitely.
So I'd like to. Anyway, here's my question for all of you wonderful people, right? Answers on colourful postcards. Yellow ones, because I really want to do this BF1 stream on Sunday, right? If a vegan swallows
Swallows what, babe?
man product from the gentleman's regions, are they still a vegan?
No. It's animal product.
Luce is pretty set on this one. I don't think it's as black and white as that.
If it's about consent.
I went to McDonald's and had a kid's meal. It was okay, but the mum was furious.
That's why I let you off, Gaz. Don't you worry. Luke, you let you super check your joke. Why not, Yeston? Yeah, I'd like to enter one, guys. I'd like to actually make some content around it as well. I need to decide which model I'd want to enter, because I think I'm going to want to enter a Space Wolf, I'll be honest. Baby gravy, man custard. Yeah, does gargling count? Why does gargling count? Why does that make a difference, Gaz?
Why would you gargle?
Why wouldn't you?
I think it's about consent, because an animal cannot consent to slaughter.
I don't understand how an animal cannot consent to slaughter, because the other party is going to consent to her doing it.
Yeah, so that's the only loophole I can think that they're going to say, no, I'm still vegan.
There's very few men out there that aren't going to consent to it. I'm going to be honest, Luce. Paul says, I once went on a date with a girl who wouldn't swallow. Fucking soup everywhere. I asked why would you gargle, and Gaz said for the bubbles. I think it's a legit question, right? Are they still a vegan?
No.
Why?
Because it's animal product.
But isn't the issue with veganism the consent argument?
Why do seagulls fly over the sea? Because if they flew over the bay, they'd be bagels.
Oh my god, Evan, thank you for the $5. Immediately after...
What?
Why do seagulls fly over the ocean? Because if they flew over the bay, we'd call them bagels.
It's two different people that put the same joke in, which I think means
see.
people are Googling dad jokes now.
Right, that's what's happening. That's why they're becoming slightly predictable. I thought more of you, chat, I'll be honest. This hobby tends to attract very clever people.
Yeah. Can I take that rain check on my question earlier on Vag? Can you put it in normal writing, not a super chat, because you did super chat earlier, and I'll answer it here, Ash. Is that all right? Can you type it out for me? Because I've forgotten what the question was. Something about list building, but I can't remember what the exact question was. But yeah, you could just type it in normally, mate, and I'll answer it here, because I know you super chatted earlier. The problem I have, right, I am aware, acutely aware, that for the most part, the 4 channels that I run, there is a core nucleus of people that show up in almost every single one of them, and you're all amazing fucking humans. The fact that you come and watch video games by a bloke who's shit at video games, and then watch the same fat lad sit on motorcycles and ride around, and then watch that same bloke sit and talk about Southampton Football Club, despite the fact that half of you aren't even Southampton fans or even football fans, is honestly quite phenomenal. You're amazing people. It's why Luce frequently says, best chat. So you're all like absolute insane humans. I love you all. But what I try and do, at least a little bit, is I try and segregate the content. So I try on the football show to only talk about football, on the bike channel to only talk about bikes, on the gaming channel to focus on gaming. The gaming one's probably got the biggest crossover. So when you super chat a 40k list building question on the gaming channel, on the off chance we've got people that turn up who don't know what my main channel is, which we had today, we had people show up and be like, I love this fucking game. Actually found us as a natural gaming channel rather than the people that have come over from this channel. I kind of don't want to be sat there talking about 40k and then go, what the fuck's he talking about? Do you know what I mean?
When does a joke become a dad joke? When it becomes apparent.
This is not impressed.
What did the buffalo say to his son when he left for college? Bison.
I've just got this permanent shaking. It's like fucking the old Churchill dog, but the other way. In the corner of my eye. She's just fucking saying no. So Ash asked earlier on Vag, what's your list building process for stream lists and how do you tailor them differently for balance? So it depends. If we've got a rule for Tournament Tuesdays, which when the previews finally fucking calm down, we'll bring Tournament Tuesdays back in again, and the guys are all really excited about that. And then we've got a sort of normal process. So in essence, for normal streams like tomorrow night, or most streams, there isn't really a process to it. It's 2 people write a list, and then we'll have a look. And the lads on the channel are very good at looking at each other's lists and going, you're going to fucking table me here, or, yeah, this looks all right, this looks fine. And so there's a bit of tweaking goes on. Normally that tweaking is Joe, if he's playing, for example. So Paddy will turn up with a list that he wants to run. He won't normally change it too much. Joe will power up or down to try and match. On occasion, we'll sort of look at, I think Paddy was looking at running 2 Cladiuses for Custodians versus Joe. We were like, we can't do that, because we know how this will work and we have to kind of power him down a little bit. Tomorrow, Adam's coming to play because we've got no Brom this month at all because he's got his twins. So we've got a bunch of gaps in the calendar that we're probably going to have to try and fill with guests. So tomorrow, Adam's coming to play. Adam asked me today, what do you want me to bring, Custodians or Knights? And I said to him, whatever you want, you're coming to play. You're our guest. Like, you do whatever you want. Joe's going to be playing him tomorrow. Joe will look at what Adam brings and then he will decide what to put on the table to try and counter that, okay? Because what we want to do, we want to try and provide you guys 3 to 4 battle rounds worth of entertainment. Sometimes by the end of battle round 4, it's quite obvious who's going to win and that can't be helped. But if we can, we'd like to at least keep it quite engaging for 3 turns. And I always say to people, 3 turns for me is the minimum. I want it to play out for at least full 3 battle rounds, because we can make full 3 battle rounds last a couple of hours if we need to, and we get a decent show out of it, and it stays quite close. Then we've got people like Brom. I love him dearly. He's a wonderful human. But
why did the man fall down the well? Because he couldn't see that well.
Well, the dog had just calmed down and it started again. Yes, thank you. So, like Brom,
Just call me a dog.
the Churchill dog. I said it earlier. So Brom, for example, is not a person we're typically going to get to power up or down. He brings what he wants, and then we kind of balance to him because he doesn't get to play all that often. He doesn't have a ton of experience. He's not in the weeds of 40k in the data all the time. So if he comes and he brings something that's a bit powerful, it's quite easy for us to power up a match. And if he brings something that's terrible, it's actually quite easy for us to sort of power down and pull punches. For Tournament Tuesdays, that's then different. Because for Tournament Tuesdays, we're trying to go ham at each other. So it's not about balancing. It's about trying to be the best player. So depending on who's playing, if I'm not playing, the lists get submitted to me separately and not shared in the team chat. So I can look at them and go, yep, that's fine, we're good. But we don't share them in the team chat because there's a risk of tailoring, because there are a couple of people that are quite bad for tailoring and changing their lists. Joe, Paddy. So Tournament Tuesdays, it gets submitted to an independent. If I'm playing, then my list will get submitted to someone else. So that people know that I haven't tailored, right? There we go.
When I do decking, could we do a pick and mix match where I go through... Oh, sorry, chat. I go through the back corridor.
I don't trust stairs. They're always up to something.
Anyway. Where I go through that back corridor with all the armies and you say to me, right, Luce, you're only allowed 1,600 points each. And then I just pick. And then it goes into like a mystery box. And say if it is Joe and Paddy playing, they've got no idea what their army looks like.
That's not how you build armies in 40k, though.
Oh,
it
that's
just wouldn't
shame.
Work. Would you ever consider a leaderboard for the team wins and losses? When we do 2-3 more games of Tournament Tuesday, Tyler, we're going to have a Tournament Tuesday leaderboard because that's people actually trying to play ham, right? But for normal games, we could do it as a joke, but it's relatively pointless, I think, to see Tom and Paddy sit at the top and Brom and Joe sit at the bottom the whole time. So, thank you anyway, you wonderful people, for all the super chats. We have got up to a mighty £78 in super chat revenue. We also have 151 concurrent viewers and 86 likes on the stream. Liking's free.
Tell you what, that's not the best painted ceiling I've seen, but it's up there. Also go through the back corridors. Really?
Well, sometimes that's what you've got to do in the evening, Nick. You've got to go through the back corridor.
That's such a shame that you can't do mix. That could be a properly random.
I mean, we've done sort of stuff like that with chat plays before. We did. There was a time when we went to Minzy Wargaming with my previous business where we did a battle report where we all wrote each other's lists. So we wrote each other the worst possible list we could.
Because you're real friends.
And that was good fun. We could do that sort of stuff. It's more difficult to get a person who doesn't know how to put a list together to build the army.
What's green and brown and kills people when dropping out of trees? Snooker table.
They're just now informative. They're not jokes anymore.
Did you hear about the kidnapping on the street? It's fine, he woke up.
Wordplay is great. I love it.
Are these all stews?
No, that was Yeston that just did that one. The one before that was Ivy.
See, I didn't hear the Welsh in it, so...
I got a new pen that can write underwater. It can write other words too.
Was that Stu?
No, that's Captain Rex. They're all getting on board. I set a super chat goal with yellow ones. Not a single yellow one's come through, but you know, I'm here for these jokes.
One big difference between men and women is that when a woman says smell this, it is usually nice.
Yeah.
That's just informative. And anyone who's ever had a brother or lived with a boy.
But bad smells can be impressive too. Probably the right audience, to be fair. Thank you for the $5, Stu. Thank you, Captain Rex, for the $5. You people are incredible humans, and I love you very dearly. Are we going to get any more of you wonderful people throwing members at us as well? Because let's face it, right? Let's face it. We had Jack pick up all the slack on 80 members.
Jack's not well. We can't count it.
We don't count those 80.
Well.
We don't
He's
count those 80.
suffering from delirium because of heat stroke.
When he wakes up tomorrow and he's better and he asks for his 80 members back, chat, we'll actually be stuck on 22.
Now, Luce, I don't get paid enough to put up with your critique. This is how I talk, so get used to it.
Yeah, Brian, you tell her.
Once stuck in a lift. I now take steps to avoid them.
That's Nick being stingy and trying to write to avoid them like a northerner by removing the O. To avoid them. Take steps to avoid them. Lifts.
I'm a yellow one.
John's a yellow one. Legends. You're all legends. I love you.
Did you know Kurt Cobain had dandruff? Apparently they found his head and shoulders all over the room.
Do you get that one?
I think I know who that
is. Thanks, Spoon Don. You're a legend. Whitey, thank you for the one gifted. You're a legend. I'll be honest with you. I am a huge fan of dark jokes, but please be careful quite how dark you go.
Why don't monsters eat ghosts? They taste like sheet.
I have to put the 80 in parentheses. Exactly, yeah. 100%. I like that. I'm a fan of that.
If they don't count the it should be 2280.
Should we do that? Should we change it?
There's two goldfish a tank. One says to the other, do you know how to drive this thing?
Oh, stupid jokes are some of my favourites. There's a guy I found on fucking TikTok earlier, and it was incredible, some of the dad jokes, and I've already forgotten all of them. What do you call a Mexican who goes to the doctor and then gets better?
A Mexican that goes to the doctor and then gets better. Some kind of Mexican word that is overused.
Well, you're killing the punchline, here you are.
I don't know.
Manuel. Captain Rex, thank you for the $10. It's YouTube's over the 25 minutes. It will catch up, and he will read it out. He'll just interrupt me randomly when I'm not expecting it in a minute. But because it's a joke, we'll let him read it out because it'll be better that way, right? There was other ones as well, which I've already forgotten, and some of them were fucking incredible. And I was laughing. I was like, I need to remember all of these, and I don't. Luce, our last fell out with me recently when she saw a TikTok and didn't enjoy the answer to, do lads really send pictures in the group chat of massive poos? And I said, not always. Well, there was that website for a while, wasn't there? ratemypoo.com. What does that look for? It was a website.
Please tell me it did something honourable like raising awareness of bowel cancer, because if there was a poo on there...
What's the opposite of Christopher Walken? Christopher Reeve.
That's naughty. Captain Rex, yours will come through. I promise you it will. It will show up at some point. Thank you so much, Ockingdorf, for the one gifted. We can change the 23 outside of the brackets to 24.
All the children are looking down into the freezer. except Boppy is looking up.
What? I misrate my poo. See, exactly. People know what it was. No, it was Tinder for shits loose. It was a thing. It was a thing. There was also, maybe it might have been a Facebook page or something, which was like parking like a cunt or something.
I know. I've heard of that one.
Yeah, it was fucking incredible. Some of the things you saw people do when they were parking their vehicles. I love those kinds of sites. Yeah, Rate My Poo was quite early on in the internet's inception. What a proud way to start using the internet.
What's the difference between a vitamin and a hormone? You can't make a vitamin.
Brian said hormone weird. Was it not spelt the same?
No, it's spelled right. What's the difference between a vitamin and a hormone? You can't make a vitamin. Not a reaction.
Very clever.
Ross, not a reaction. Rate My Poo was a shit trend, yeah. Oh my god. Hard to translate the Danish all the children jokes as it has to rhyme. Oh, right, okay. Thank you anyway, Mr. the Necromancer. You're a legend. If it helps, I didn't get it, so it can be as dark as you want. You're all fucking legends. Thank you so much for all the gifteds and thank you so much for all the super chats. I am thoroughly entertained. We've got 3 out of 10 yellow ones. Spoiler alert, team. Right, I'll tell you what. I'll put this out here now. The likelihood is I'll be doing Battlefield 1 on Sunday anyway, so don't worry about it too much. You know, I just set targets to try and be greedy, especially early in the month. The better the streams do, the earlier in the month, the more I calm down all the way through the month, because I'm like, cool, we've had a good start. We'll be fine. Like, we'll be fine this month. So I just get nervous at the start of the month when the big fucking YouTube estimated earnings for June goes to 0. And I'm like, can we keep these going pretty quickly? Come on, Luce, that was a good one. Which one? The hormone vitamin joke? Oh, that was a great joke, Ross. Honestly, I appreciated it. I did.
The lesbians next door gave me a Rolex for my birthday. I think they misunderstood me saying I want to watch.
My favourite thing at the moment is to listen to your jokes be read out and then just look at Luce and watch the flat no reaction. No reaction. The first person that makes her genuinely laugh with one of these jokes from Brian will win a prize.
To be fair, I'm a tough crowd. So.
You are a tough crowd. I know. That's why it's going to be a prize. The first one who uses Brian's voice and makes her genuinely laugh, properly laugh, and it might not happen. Maybe we'll give away a set of ejected markers.
It's not going to happen. I feel like my humour's very niche.
Why? What do you mean?
Because I don't like the whole one-liner thing. I'm clever, but when other people are belly laughing, I'm sort of looking around the room thinking, I just don't get it.
I'm a simple soul. I like to laugh.
It's either
I like
way
to laugh.
too predictable.
12 years ago my mate Dave came out running and screaming it's a boy, with tears streaming down his face. We never went to Thailand again.
I've heard too many horror stories as well. I've had too many genuine horror stories from Thailand from people that I know. Kazarian says, Luce, I am devastated.
Well, you know. Me too.
This is by the way, team, this is a wonderfully lovely way to have a break from the hobby for a bit.
Where did Joe go after getting lost in a minefield? Everywhere.
That's a confused face.
The car poo thing. Where did he go? Like when you go? No? See, this is what I mean. I don't get them. Or they're too predictable.
What's the difference between a baby and wood for a bonfire? What do you mean you don't know, you psychopath?
I don't understand how you struggle with the minefield joke. Is it because it...
She needs Monty Python humor, that's what it is.
No, Christian, she doesn't like Monty Python.
Yeah, I can't.
That's when you know they're broken.
Yeah. And then option 3, I get joke fatigue. So.
That's when you know they're broken. So Rambo might have done himself no favors by using Joe as the name after we'd been talking about Rate My Poo, but he could have used any name. Where does Jimmy go after getting lost in a minefield?
Oh, because he got blown. I don't know how you find them so funny.
I think it's more funny because of you. I think it's more funny just to hear your legitimate just disgust and disappointment in your voice. For once, chat, you can hear the disgust and disappointment. It's not just me.
Yeah, not just you.
Just after I've dropped my trousers.
Only you keep pointing that out.
My first live stream and we're not talking hobby. We often don't.
A policeman spotted an elderly lady driving while knitting. Pull over. He screamed. No, it's a scarf. She yelled back.
Yeah.
What kind of needlework is always angry cross stitch?
Some of them are forgetting grammar a little bit.
Yeah, I told you, Brian.
Which does make Brian's delivery more difficult. To be fair to Brian, he's reading exactly what's written.
Brah. Bill Rat, brah.
Brian, thank you so much, Garcia, for the tea. What kind of needlework is always angry? Cross stitch. There, see, yeah, that's yeah. I tripped while riding up an escalator and fell down the stairs for 20 minutes. The thing is, Cass, I believe that you can actually do that, so I don't know if it's, you know.
What's the best way to transport fruit on a bike?
There's no punchline, Ash.
Ugh, this is because of my basket.
4 yellow ones, yeah.
O'Kale spends $5 more to say, as an American I love Monty Python and that's absolutely wild. You don't like them, I'm sorry, Liam.
Thank you. Thank you, Christian, for standing in solidarity with me.
I just didn't grow up with it, so I don't get it.
I asked my daughter to give me the phone book. She laughed at me, called me a dinosaur and handed me her iPhone. So, the spider is dead, the phone is broken and she is pissed.
That Dave?
No, that was Stu.
Oh.
Okay, do one like guessing here as well. We're on 4 yellow ones, Stu. Thank you so much. That joke was just for me. Oh, was it? Oh, Deeks is here. Where the fuck have you been? Sam says breaks are for virgins. Sam, are you not currently taking a break from Thanes? Tell him, Thanes. Mr. the Joseph Svensson returned to Thanes yesterday.
Woohoo!
Why is it hard to get into uni after going to the Fonzie Secondary School? They look down at A levels.
He wrote it better than... That was a Brian problem, that one. They look down at A levels.
Yeah. Fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Sorry, chat. You are taking a break from Thanes. Virgin. Who even is Sam Deacon? I ask you.
My wiener was once in the Guinness Book of World Records, but then the librarian told me to take it out.
I get the feeling that these people are exhausting to live with.
I love you all. Thank you, Bastastic. Yeston says as well, with the Fonzie joke, he does say, come on, Luce, I just made that one up myself. It's more impressive when you make it yourself, I'll be honest.
What do you call an Indian electrician? An electrician, you racist. Just kidding. A shock.
A shock.
Yeah. Thank you for the one gifted. You legend. We're on 25 strictly. 125. No, 105, but 25.
As in his name is a shock.
This is... You could tell I didn't woo her with my humour.
There was a fortune teller with dwarfism on the run from the police. News reports there's a small medium at large.
Oh, I've heard that.
I have actually as well, historically, chat, quite frequently actually, I have had loose, like, proper belly laugh.
Yeah.
And I've also had her laugh so hard, she turns into, like, a female version of Jimmy Carr. So, you know, it's possible. I do it on a frequent basis.
You are funny, but it's not like, it's more quick wit from a real situation.
Well, this is why, because for a very brief period of time, you tried to convince me to have a go at stand-up.
You're so funny, yeah.
I don't think I could do stand-up because any of my humour is from reacting to a situation, and when you're in stand-up, the situation is everyone's looking at you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, that's why what's his name? Matt Rife. He does crowd work.
Yeah, I think I'd have to
his.
do all crowd work. Sam, thank you for the gifted. You're a legend, but become a thing, you fucker. We miss you. Joseph came back. You can do it.
Why was 6 afraid of 7?
Because 7, 8, 9.
Oh dear, she's getting fed up now. Saying thanks, Paul, for the 2. You're a legend. Jesse has suggested you should become a comedy critic.
2 antennas got married, didn't care for the wedding, but the reception was great.
Who?
Antennas! Fucking hell!
Oh, okay.
You got goo here today.
It's Brian. His delivery's ruining it.
Brian's doing a great job. I'm laughing loads. I think you're the problem. I just got gifted. Well, why were you allowed to get gifted? That's the problem. You can upgrade from a gifted. Just saying.
Because 7 was a registered 6 offender.
You got the wrong answer. No, she's knitting.
Do you know the phrase one man's trash is another man's treasure? It's a wonderful saying, but a horrible way to find out that you were adopted.
But Sam, be rude to upgrade. No, it wouldn't. It would be like taking the gift in its ultimate form. Not only am I taking your gift, I'm going to upgrade, so you've turned me into a permanent member. I was shocked, Sam. I was shooketh, in fact, when I saw that you got gifted. Like, wait, he's not just at least a member on his own?
I found a book called How to Solve 50% of Your Problems. So I bought 2.
Captain Rex, it still hasn't let your tone one come through yet. It's still waiting to come onto my little tracker thing so I can make it come up on the big screen. I don't know what's happening, but I'm having a nice time. Whispers in the Warp, chat, is a new person to streams and is a grey name. Shall we show them what the Great Hall does to grey names? Get him in Discord. I keep forgetting to turn off gifted and then come in here and spam snipe me. Well, don't tell them you're going to do that. Alright. Because 7 was a registered 6 offender was great as well, by the way. I like that one. Oh, brilliant. I'm going to learn to make omelettes in a minute.
Very easy.
She says this.
No, it is genuinely very easy.
She says this. I don't think anything involving cooking is all that easy. Am I about to get hazed? Well, sometimes when I say that, this happens. And people start gifting to try and get you a gifted membership. And then you get into Discord with a gifted membership. And then when you're in Discord with a gifted membership, you can look at all the areas. And then you start talking to people in Discord. And you go, this community's all right, actually. And then you see things like the Jarl's giveaway. And you go, I might actually upgrade. And before you know it, within a few months, you're in the Thames WhatsApp chat. And you're like, huh, I'm a big dick now. Thank you so much, Mordy Hammer. Thank you so much, Tom. Thank you so much, Sam, for all the gifteds as you wonderful humans try and snipe Mr. the Whispers in the Warp. You're a legend. Omelets are easy. Poached egg, though, is beyond me. I can't do poached egg. That's fucking cooking wizardry. You might as well, when they're stirring the poached egg, literally do it with a wand. Jill, thank you for the one gifted. Heroes, one and all.
I finally mastered custard.
It was quite nice, actually. The first attempt was okay. The first attempt wasn't bad. Like, I could eat the first attempt again and be happy.
But the second one.
Yeah, oh my god. Jack's drunk.
Jack, go back to bed.
I made a website for orphans. It doesn't have a home page.
Captain Rex, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Jack has come in. He's still too much sun. Thank you for 20 more gifted memberships, Jack. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Did we get the person though? Did we get them? What I like when the gifteds come in quite often as well is we see lots of names that I've not seen before, which is quite nice. I'll become a big dick member when I win the postcode lottery. Well, fingers crossed for you. Being a Thane increases your sexual attractiveness, mostly to bearded dudes, but it's true. It is true. It's a fact. It is a fact. Poached eggs are simple. Don't stir the water. Exactly. You have to wave your wand and cackle over your cauldron.
You want to learn poached eggs?
No. No, they look like stress. I could learn poached eggs, but we don't have any toast.
I didn't make.
So that'll be the next thing. Basically, I just fucking love eggs. But what I make is soft boiled and scrambled. I can do fried, obviously, but I don't really like fried eggs. Well, I don't not like fried eggs.
Fried egg sandwich.
Yeah, so fried egg and bacon sandwich is my Father's Day breakfast. Tony Winnick, thank you for 10 gifted memberships. Come on, team.
What's your Father's Day breakfast?
Crispy bacon and fried egg sandwich. Is that okay?
Yeah.
What I've got to do as well, team, is I've got to think of a Father's Day dinner, and I'm going to go steak.
Yeah.
I think, and garlic mushrooms, and I'm not yet sure what to go with it. I've yet to decide.
Okay. You want to?
Yes.
What?
I don't know. I haven't yet decided.
A bear walks into a bar. He says, "I'll have a."
A or 8?
A. And it ends.
Poaching is illegal.
Exactly. If someone makes me a fried egg, I'll take it. But yeah, I poach 2 eggs every morning, 3 minutes in a pan of lightly simmering water. No. I don't want to. Luce can teach me. Woke up to an email saying I won the postcode lottery. I checked, it said won £15. Well, Paul didn't say he had to win a lot of money on the postcode lottery. He said to win the postcode lottery and he'd become a big dick, so yeah, steak, garlic mushrooms. I feel like I want some kind of chip, but I haven't yet to decide.
Okay.
I'm struggling with the options.
Too many?
A little bit.
Okay.
Because I want all the things. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out before Saturday so you can go to shop.
A starter?
Yes.
Okay, prawn cocktail?
Yes. Someone literally sniped Royal Purple, yeah. Those last 2 super chats. The second was the punchline. Well, they were 2 different people in 2 different countries. That'd be quite impressive if they were working together. A bear walks into a bar. He says, "I'll have a poaching is illegal."
The bartender says, "Why the pause?" The bear says, oh, I was born with them.
I was born with what?
The pause! Why the pause?
Oh.
He says a bear walks into a bar. He says, I'll have her. Super chat stops. Next super chat comes in a few moments later and says, the bar says, why the pause? The bear says, oh, I was born with them.
Nice.
Fucking hell. Diddly squat tomahawk steaks are rather good. I looked the other day. Do you know how long it takes us to get up to Clarkson's pub and farm shop?
Be a couple of hours.
90 minutes.
Near Dad, I think.
No, it's West Oxfordshire.
Oh, Dad always makes it sound like it's up the road.
Yeah. Your dad also told us it's 3 hours to get to our house. And I proved it was 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Oh, Pappy.
I proved it was 2 hours and 10 minutes without even setting off. It wasn't like I broke the speed limit to do it. I showed you on the sat-nav.
What's he like?
Dark humor is like food. Not everyone gets it.
Unfortunately, dark humour will not make Luce laugh. She just then thinks you're all terrible human beings.
No, I don't think you're terrible. I don't get it because I'm not in on like pop culture and Kurt Cobain. I think I know who he is. He was in a band. I think.
Jesse says, guys, you've got to keep super chatting. We have to raise the money for Luce to get hearing aids.
Yeah.
You think? Wait, hang on. Kurt Cobain was pop culture. I think he was in a band.
Yeah, I didn't listen to that kind of music, so I know his name. I know he was in a band, but I don't know.
He was the lead singer of Nirvana.
Right, yeah, but I couldn't tell you a Nirvana song without hearing it first. If you were to like hum a Nirvana song, I go, oh yeah, I've heard that one, but I couldn't tell you. I just didn't listen to that kind of music.
Kurt Cobain was the lead singer of Nirvana, who sung songs like "Smells Like Teen Spirit," which you've probably heard.
How does that one go?
I'm not going to sing it, am I? And one of the reasons why he was infamous is because he decided to leave this planet by sticking a shotgun in his mouth. Hence the joke about his head and shoulders everywhere. Dan, thank you for 5 gifted memberships. It's a lot less funny when you have to explain it, I'll be honest.
Which is why I don't like. I think I'm a fairly happy, joyful person, but when it comes to these jokes, I very quickly get typecast as the miserable twat in the corner because I just don't. I either know the punchline, or I have no idea who you're joking about.
Yeah.
And then I get joke fatigue.
Yeah, I think she's probably at the stage of great joke fatigue, chat. So although I don't want to encourage you to do this ever, you probably should stop sending your jokes. I mean, I'm enjoying them, but you should probably stop sending your jokes in.
Like Monty Python. I don't think that's my humour anyway.
Yeston says, starting to think that Luce will be the demise of the channel. Lord of the House Corver says, I think that's grounds for divorce, Liam.
Sorry, chat.
Have you ever noticed that the drummer in Nirvana looks a lot like the singer from the Foo Fighters? Did you know that?
Is it the same person?
Yeah.
Oh.
You know who the singer from the Foo Fighters is called?
Is he the one that goes, is someone getting the best, the best? That one, yeah. Dave Grohl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank fuck for that. Jesus. Oh.
There was nearly a midlife realization.
Next, you'll be telling me she doesn't like Hot Fuzz.
No, I like that one. That was good.
Captain Rex, I don't know what happens to the one you sent. It should have come through already, but it hasn't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go find it and read it. Dan, thank you for those 5 gifted as well, by the way. We're on 50 non-Jack memberships. I didn't heart your one, Captain Rex, because it hasn't come through yet. It says, I gave my handyman a to-do list, but he only did jobs 1, 3, and 5.
No, that one did come through. He only does odd jobs. That one came through ages ago.
Did it?
Yeah.
When?
Ages ago.
Oh. Well, there you go. Apparently it did come through, though.
You heart that shit, babe. You heart it.
I have, yeah. Oh dear. Has Luce lost her funny bone? Possibly, yeah.
I am funny. I'm a happy person. Just in this area, you've lost me.
Why did the Duracell bunny die? Because someone put the batteries in the wrong way round, so instead of going, he was coming and coming.
That one was repeated. Someone's repeated the joke. Oh, right, okay. So I was right not to heart it then originally. Yes, it had been done twice. So that's fine. It didn't come through, but we had already had that joke. Captain Rex, thank you so much for the yellow one. I don't know if Brian's just gone, nah, it's the same joke, dickhead. You're not having it.
Brian.
Well, you said you're worried about them all rising up.
Yes. Always say please and thank you to Alexa, because one day robots will rise up and you never know what might spare you.
Yeah, Rambo. I don't think women understand actual humour. You know. It's if they got humour properly, it would be hard for them to maintain their stern face when we're all giggling. When we're all giggling like children as men, they need to maintain their stern face, crossed arms. It'd be difficult, wouldn't it?
Why not just sat here talking to you about your Father's Day meal?
Yeah.
It's not very stern-faced, crossed arms.
No, but it's not jokey funny, like because men love stupidly childish jokes. Because let's face it, whilst I'm sat here with an audience of 140 people who have tuned into a show that's about toy soldiers, we don't ever truly actually grow up.
Right.
And I'm going to be honest with you, with some of the things I've seen in this world, I never actually want to ever truly grow up because it sucks.
Okay, so am I a warhammerer?
I beg your pardon?
Am I a warhammerer? But your audience, they play Warhammer. I play.
No.
Am I a childish man that sniggers at childish...
It's 2025, if you want to be.
No. So I'm probably right within my demographic to not be sniggering at the childish man jokes.
Exactly, that's my point.
So why are we being mean to me about not sniggering
We're
at the
not
jokes?
being mean to you. How are we being mean to you?
Rambo's being mean.
People were only mean to you when you didn't know who the lead singer of Nirvana was.
I still don't know what the songs are. You won't sing them to me. Nearly died having one of your babies. You won't even sing Nirvana.
No.
I threw a boomerang 5 days ago and it didn't come back. Now I live in constant fear.
We're definitely not Warhammerers.
Yeah, see? They get it.
I am Peter Pan never growing up. I don't want to grow up. I want to play toy soldiers, ride bikes, motorbikes obviously because I'm a grown-up, but not a grown-up, and just enjoy life. Fuck this adulting shit. It's rubbish. I'll be grown up when I need to look after and protect my wife and children. Otherwise, balls to it. Life's too short.
Did you read about that woman that sued her parents because she didn't want to get a job or something? Because she didn't ask to be here.
Oh,
So
I
she
have heard
sued
about this,
them.
yes.
Yeah.
She sued them because she didn't give consent to be born.
Something like that, yeah. Did she ever win that case?
I hope
Did
not.
it? I hope it got thrown out. That sets such a precedent.
I just want a woman to laugh at my farts. Rolling on the floor laughing emoji.
That is a devastating moment in every man's life. When you make the most perfect comedy noise and you get a look of disgust rather than a giggle. Honestly. I'm right there alongside you, Luce, says Jesse, but I married Ed, the king of dad jokes. I've had to learn to find them funny or else I would be miserable.
There's just the trouble is it Jesse?
That's Jesse, yeah.
Yeah.
It's Mr. Ed's wife.
The trouble is, Jesse, that I've had to find the funny side to so much in this house that I think all my funny sides are currently occupied. And that's why...
How do you mean?
Hey, babe, I'm going to quit my corporate job that has a really good pension.
Whoa, sweet child of mine. That's
found
not
that
how that
funny.
went. That's not how that went at all. Was it?
Hey, babe, I'm going to buy a motorbike. That was funny.
That was how that one went, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the quitting job one you can't throw at me.
No, you're right. I can't. You were
We're at an impasse. We can go one of two directions. Here's the two directions we can go. And you were probably more keen on the direction we took than the other one.
Hey babe, I'm going to occupy the garage until near midnight, twice a week, yelling Warhammer words at the top of my lungs. And then I'm going to piss off when the neighbours corner you and ask strange questions about, can I hear men shouting weird words into the night? I found that funny.
It worked though, didn't it? It worked. I missed the corporate job a little bit. But I think if I was like transported back into it, knowing everything I know now, right? Yeah. If I was transported straight back into that job now and I did perhaps a month, after a month I'd be like, fuck this shit, I hate it again.
Do you know,
in fact, I don't even think I'd last a month.
I miss working for somebody and being able to walk away from a shift. I miss that, but I don't miss how I cannot apply common sense as an adult, and I have to go simple things like if a resident was a bit restless and I had a pocket of time and I said to them, would you like me to run you a bath? We could do it now, no one's in the bathroom, shall we go and do it now? I then get told off of it's too early to bath them. I can't stand it because it's just the common sense. They're cooperative now and they're happy for me to help them now. Yeah, why wouldn't I capitalise on that opportunity?
Well, my last job, I didn't have that ability to just walk away, really, because of the position I was in.
Yeah.
So as you know, I was always connected and always on the phone, whether it was emails or calls or whatever. The job before was a lot more able to walk away and have off-shift times. So, like, I would do my shift pattern of sort of 5 and then have 4 or 5 days off, which was quite nice. I missed that, but I also don't want to go... Like, I also, with the last job, I was able to work from home and was a relatively important figure. And I feel like I missed that part of the world, that part of where it's, you know, you're making decisions, you're dealing with big numbers, etc. I quite liked that. I also liked the working from home part.
Did you?
I did, yeah, I did.
Lots of people don't like it.
No, I did like it. I liked... What I would have preferred a format that was 4 days working from home, 1 day in the office.
Okay.
Because there was a lot of stuff that we could have done in the office which would have 100% been more productive. And I did miss like coffee machine chats and stuff like that. I did miss that sort of stuff.
There's actually an awful lot of things like collaboration that happens at the coffee machine.
But 100%.
You don't think there is?
There's a lot of stuff in the job previously. There was a lot of things that got thrown at me in the tea room from people that you liked. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And lots of information you would get that you wouldn't otherwise get. But I think nowadays, although I feel like I miss it all, if I did the corporate job for a couple of weeks, I'd be like, I'm out. I can't do it anymore. I don't fit that mold anymore. I don't know. Maybe. I think if I had to, I'd do it. If this went tits up and everyone went, actually, he's a bit of a dickhead and stopped supporting the channel, stopped watching, stopped gifting, stopped super chatting, and it all went wrong and I had to go and get a job again, I could do it. Do you know what I mean? Like I could force myself back into that mold and to do that work again. But if it was a choice-based thing and I've tasted this freedom, I'd very much struggle, I think.
I think, so obviously never burn bridges if you don't need. I could go back in care, but I think now that I've done 5 years worth of my own research, emailing other people, sharing knowledge, sharing worries, and finding the out-of-the-box thinking of how to get sort of the same result, going back into a very institutionalized setting would probably bring me to tears very quickly.
I did, but I don't know about tears for me, but yeah, I think I'd struggle 100%. Whispers and Warp says, to be fair, my day job is shouting Warhammer words and my neighbours haven't said anything yet. What is your day job? Warp Strider Productions, Andy does say, anyone know any jobs going? Here can sometimes be the power of chat. Anyone know any jobs going in the Hampshire, Dorset, Surrey area being made redundant in July?
Oh, gosh.
Currently in traffic management. It has worked before in the past. Thanes have given each other jobs and stuff. Would you go back to the sort of job you did before, or would you look for something different? I kind of have to, because that's my qualifications. My qualifications is in engineering, both aviation and rail-based. I would want to go back into something management for certain. I wouldn't want to go back on the tools, because I enjoy management. But, yeah. We're,
Do you know what?
we're running Hobby House soon, so, we'll see how that goes.
I think this sounds really strange.
Hey, Liam, how's it going, dude?
I think if the boys didn't need me anymore and little pockets of time were starting to come out and I thought I could actually make a little career for myself, I think I'd really enjoy organising someone else's family. Being a sort of remote housekeeper. Because everybody needs like 2 or 3 jobs now, and things get forgotten about. If there might be a leak in the bathroom that nobody has spotted and now it's turned into new carpets, rotting floorboards, to have somebody with their finger on the pulse.
Yeah. So almost like a PA, sort of?
A family PA, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Kind
think
of.
what would I even call that service?
The FA.
The family assistant.
Yeah, not the Football Association. The family
Ooh,
assistant.
Family assistant. Yeah, stuff like organising dentist appointments for the kids, because those text messages and those emails get put in the junk folder.
Yeah.
And having the dog walked. And did you know you do have a leak in the bathroom? I've organised someone.
Well, that could be
come
remote, though,
round.
would it? You'd have to be there then, surely.
Well, yeah, because also housekeeping is housework as
Housekeeping.
well. But
Housekeeping.
just to have
Nagging.
a proper finger on the pulse of someone else's family, to be able to walk away from that and know that there's food in the cupboards, the laundry's been done, the dog's been walked, you have the dentist tomorrow, the leak's being sorted,
Oh,
the car MOT is booked.
Jesse says virtual assistant, Lucy, is what I do, but for businesses instead of families. So that it sort of
Oh, it is
exists.
a thing.
It exists for businesses, though.
I think I'd really enjoy that, because I do like care.
Yeah.
But I think because the Tisms are now singing away in this house, because that's who we are, I've now seen the other side of, why does it have to be done that way if this way is kinder? Why wouldn't you do it this? And
It's
to be
interesting, isn't it?
told by a matron or a senior of, because that's the way, like, it's...
I think care is a thankless task anyway, on the most part. If you can't find the joy in it, it can be quite difficult and quite challenging to find any joy in it because of what it is. So,
I miss it. There was such lovely little smiles of helping people put on their favourite tie because their daughter's coming to visit. Like, it was just it's so cheesy. But when family come in and they see their loved one looking well and happy, it's such a little warm fuzzy of, I helped do that. I help your loved one stay well and happy.
It takes a special kind of person, because I can't think of anything worse. I think it sounds awful.
There are bad shifts, definitely.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're back to back.
I write and produce 40k audio dramas. I was diagnosed with Crohn's recently. I've needed to change my lifestyle to accommodate it, so now I work from home in my studio. That sounds amazing. Well, not the Crohn's part,
Yeah, Crohn's
obviously.
is
That
tough.
sounds shit. I know people that... Excuse me, I know people that got Crohn's, and fuck that noise. But so I'm sorry that has happened. But, working from home in your studio, writing and producing 40k audio dramas sounds cool, right? So, Right. Brain injury support worker, loose in the community rather than residential. I mean, at the moment
What,
we're
for
not.
me?
Yeah, at the moment we're not looking for jobs. To be
Ooh.
fair, so Loose, is that one way not to protect you from legal consequences from doing it another way? I mean, yeah, it is. But I've heard some of the stories that Luce has told, and some of it's like it's just impossible or impractical, and the person who's come up with the one way of doing it, it just doesn't work. And so at that point, you're like, you've told me the way I've got to do this, but I physically can't do the thing I need to do by doing it this one way.
It's annoying things like, I've been told off before. I've been pulled into the office and told off for bathing a resident 2 hours too early, because at that time they were lucid and compliant and understood what I was asking of them. I got pulled into the office for bathing somebody 2 hours too early.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? And
It's that kind of common sense of, if I had a toddler who I knew would be impossible at 8 o'clock, but at 6 o'clock, they're a delight. I'm going to do all the difficult stuff I need them to do at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
So then when they're impossible at 8 o'clock, then I can let some things fall by the wayside because I got the important stuff done at 6.
IBD, for fuck's sake. Dave says, getting tested for IBD at the moment. Not fun and scary when they keep saying the big C word a lot. You're in Thames though, Dave, aren't you, right? IBD, irritable bowel disease, still. You're in Thames though, right? Crohn's has seen the amount of interest in my arse increase. Exponentially. Every cloud, I guess. Okay, cool. Yeah, so you got Thames. You got a support network around you, mate. Honestly, use it. Trust me, they're incredible. Fucking incredible people. IMDb, yeah, he's been tested for IMDb. I'm thinking about changing jobs. Now I'm qualified in current job, I'm bored. I get it. I don't think this job could ever actually get boring. It's stressful because we're on the 2nd of June. The first week to 2 weeks is more stressful. It's not like tear your hair out, sweat, panic stressful. It's just more stressful because like, is it going to set itself up to be a decent month? Or am I going to be fighting like fuck to get revenue in at the end of the month? So last month was stressful at the end of the month because we had that week where we had the holiday and sickness, right? It's not dissimilar to anybody who runs a business or works for themselves. Right? It's not because it's YouTube, because it doesn't matter if you're a plumber working for yourself. You stress about, am I going to bring in enough revenue this month to cover all the bills? Yeah. It's just what happens. You know, it's just a fact. So when I talk about it, I don't want you to think, oh, he's going to make himself unwell, sick, and he can't sleep at night. I sleep at night, trust me. It's just one of those things that I explain to you people. So sometimes when I'm a little bit off the boil, it might be that there's a bit extra stress that's then mixed into that stress of running a business. But I don't think I could ever get bored of this. And what I've done, I think by branching out, doing the football show, doing the bike channel, doing the gaming stuff, I've got such wonderful variety. It's just fun now. I just get to enjoy it all the time. And I get to call so many things work that everybody else calls fun. Yeah. And that's great.
I always think of jobs like...
It's become the number one... Sorry, darling. It's become the number one talking point at my parents. Hello, son. How are you? How's your ass? Wonderful. Wonderful. Sorry, Lucy. I always think of jobs you started.
I always think of jobs like if you hear musical scores, so like the Harry Potter score or the Lord of the Rings score. And I always think, imagine meeting somebody and they go, oh, hello, what do you do? And you can say, oh, I'm a musician. Oh, yeah, anything I've heard? Yeah, I played the xylophone for Harry Potter score music. What? I always think, how cool a job would that be? Yeah. Like, I'm on that soundtrack.
That'd be cool. You'd be quite proud of it, I think.
Yeah.
Andy says, I'd love to do what you do for work, Liam. You know what? If I could double the revenue in the next 6 months, Andy, I'd bring another person or two people on board to do it as well, because I'm sure, all jokes aside, I know we give each other abuse and that's part of the banter of the channel, but if you ask Joe, like, he gets to build, paint and play Warhammer for a living, and being able to give someone else the opportunity to do that and support their lifestyle is a gift in itself. And if I can grow to Lawrence's size where he's got 8 members of staff, it's an added stress, but like, what amazing position to be in to be able to gift other people the opportunity to do that as well. That'd be insane, right?
Yeah.
That'd be insane.
And the working world is changing.
The working world is changing. It is. I think the world in general, like even things like the high street's weird now, because the high street is like majoritively food outlets.
Yeah.
And people shop for physical product from their computers or their phones, and we go out for entertainment and food outlets. And I think the way the world is, I actually think, and maybe I'm talking out my arse here, but I actually think that things like Netflix and Disney are starting to lose out to YouTube channels and people on YouTube, because people get fed up of prices going up and up and up, and sometimes service getting worse and worse. Like we recently famously cancelled Netflix because it went up again in price, and we were like, well, we don't really use it.
Same.
Yeah. And I said to you yesterday, actually, And I think it was Saturday I said to you, I was like, I'm getting a bit fed up of all these stream, like, oh, I'll just add that streaming service. Oh, I'll just add that streaming service. And I started cancelling them all down and being, all right, grumpy old fucker. And just being like, sorry, kids, you can't just have whatever you want to watch on demand all the time. Not a possibility. But also, do you know what they watch more often than not? Fucking kids' YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you bring back a Vault type on-demand service to grow the channel? I don't think it does grow the channel, honestly. I think, maybe I'm wrong here, but my theory is the model that we produce, where everything is free and you can choose to pay for it if you enjoy it, brings us and generates us more support than if we went for an on-demand model. Maybe I'm wrong. But the other thing I've got as well is I've got to think about is if I was to bring back an on-demand model of some sort or a members-only model of some sort, what I have to do is I have to probably lose the show I'm currently doing because of capacity. But have you finished your...
Yeah, my knitting.
Are you ready to teach an old dog a new trick?
Yeah, I think you're not giving yourself enough credit. I think omelettes are a great little food, actually. A very quick, kind of like feel accomplished food.
Yeah, Dan says, I own a couple of small craft beer bars in Manchester. The constant stress can be overwhelming, but I don't think I would change it for the world. Exactly that, right? Exactly that. I've fucked a lot of food up in the past, that's why.
But you can cook.
But I also don't like fucking food up because then it's wasted and I don't like wasting food.
I mean,
How often do you put anything in front of me and there's anything left behind?
Yeah, omelettes are they're a sort of a bulletproof food, I'd say. Because if you mess up the omelette, you can just turn it into scrambled egg. So
when they added adverts to the basic price and then said, hey, you want ad-free, pay another couple of quid. I don't. Yeah, I know. Honestly. Well, that was the thing. Like, I was like, I looked at Netflix. It was like, to watch it in 4K ad-free was like 24 quid a month or something. I was like, didn't it start really cheap? They're like, well, you can still have it for £4 a month or whatever, but it's 720p. So it looks like it was from 30 years ago, and you're going to get adverts. Like, no, I'm paying you as a streaming service.
Of the nostalgia.
Fuck that. Anyway, right. Is that the next channel? Liam Cooks. Fuck no. Do you know what, right? I was supposed to go here so I can make my omelette. On all seriousness, Paul, right? I have been in super stressful situations. I've been in Afghanistan 3 times. I've managed very stressful situations in previous jobs. I've been in high stress positions. I've seen horrific things. You know, I fucking hate cooking. I hate it. I hate the pressure of cooking. I hate the pressure of cooking for people as well. I hate cooking Wednesdays. I have no problems doing it because it's you and it's your day off, but I don't like it because I'm like, if I fuck this up, this is her meal for the day. Every week. Despite the fact that I haven't fucked one up for a long time. I hate it even more if we've got guests over.
It's also okay to mess one up every now and then. That's fine. All you do is you go, right, I'm nipping to the shop, or you order in.
Ordering. Anyway, you people have been fucking incredible. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight. Love you all. We, as usual on this channel, we didn't really talk about the main topic too much. But bottom line is, if you're looking at your hobby and you've got piles and piles and piles of it and you think, I need to do it but I really don't want to, just take a little break. It probably helps your mood. Go do something different, play a video game, go for a walk in the fresh air, take the dog out, whatever it might be. Do something a bit different, take a break from it. I guarantee you'll come back to it eventually and go, I feel ready to go again and build some more models and a bit more motivated. Sometimes also, like, take the piles down and put them away somewhere so it's not overwhelming and kind of like in your face. We did talk about it for the first 10 minutes and then we went on wild dad jokes and other conversations. Big shout out to all of you wonderful people who've gifted memberships. You're amazing people. A big shout out to Jack who gifted 100 all by himself.
Holy Jack.
Which is mad.
Get
Thank
well
you so much,
soon,
Jack, for gifting 100 all by yourself. I love you, which means we did hit 150 members tonight. You're amazing. And thank you for all the dad jokes. I laughed a lot. I laughed loads. So don't worry about Luce. She doesn't find Monty Python funny, right? So you were on a hiding to nothing anyway.
I don't think I've ever watched it.
That's why I was confident that I could go, I'll do a giveaway because she just wasn't going to laugh.
I don't think I've ever watched Monty Python.
we started watching The Holy Grail together, and it wasn't very long in before you were like, I just don't get this. And I was like, honestly.
Who have I married?
I have piles of stuff that I just lost interest in. Next comment, I have piles. Anyway, like I said, I hope you guys have all enjoyed it. If you have, make sure you smash that like button before you disappear. But we are on 125 likes, so hopefully that means that you've all enjoyed it. You're incredible. There is no loose facts on Mondays. Loose doesn't do any of the stuff on Mondays. There's no hopes, there's no facts, there's no news, there's no nothing. That's for Wednesdays and Fridays, John. So you'll have to join us on that one. You'll also have to join us tomorrow. There's a Liam and Joe show at 13:30. We'll be sat in the chairs talking to you beautiful people from the studio. And then in the evening at 7:30, Joe's taking on Adam from Beachhead fame. On Wednesday, we're back with a normal Warhammer show. Thursday is more Liam and Joe shows at the table hobbying, followed by another live game of 40k. Paddy's back in the studio. And Friday, we have After Dark at the new time of 9 p.m. Do you want to say your bit, though? Or you don't do your normal things? Do you want to say your bit at the end? Do you want to say your bit at the end?
Best chat.
Best chat. Thank you so much for watching, you wonderful humans. We'll see you in the next one.